In this video, 3 Mandalorians arrive at a shady establishment hidden away in the shipping district of Coruscant, where bounty hunters and other seedy individuals have gathered. Their goal is to navigate their way through the crowds in order to find the leader of the establishment, Gundark, so as to intimidate him into releasing a supply of beskar that he had long ago promised them. Little do they realize that Gundark is already in negotiations with a Dark Jedi named Vorteth to sell the same metals. Will the Mandalorians successfully negotiate the shady hideout, and will they be able to leave with their beskar? Find out as we play a hybrid game of solo role-playing and Star Wars miniatures. Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Fågelund, Sweden. What you see set up before you is the hideout of Coruscant that is run by this guy here on the corner of the table, Gundark. Now Gundark is trying to sell some beskar metals to a Dark Jedi, and in the meanwhile we have our Mandalorians, our heroes of this story, these 3 guys right here, who are going to be trying to make their way through this hideout, coming in contact with different bounty hunters and other figurines in order to try to intimidate Gundark into giving them their beskar. Now we're going to be playing a bit of Star Wars miniatures rules mixed in with some role-playing, and I want to show you some of the role-playing rules that we will be using as we try to make our way through this experimental game. The first mechanic for this role-playing game is what I am calling the NPC Dispositional Determiner. And what you see here is the Dice Masters game dice set. And there's 6 faces on these that I have assigned my own interpretations to that we will be able to use in the game. Let's walk through each of these faces first and then show you how we're going to use them. On the top we have the fist, and this is going to be an indicator of aggressive dispositions. Next we have the shield, defensive dispositions. The pawn, I'm going to interpret this as meaning strategic or manipulative dispositions. Lightning, flash of insight or insightful disposition, something that might be able to help our characters. And the question mark, curious or inquisitive, perhaps asking a lot of questions. And finally, the mask is mysterious or secretive disposition. So the way that this will work is when our characters come in contact with NPCs, non-player characters, we will roll off 7 dice to see what is the general disposition of that party or that individual that they meet. So let's go ahead and give a roll to show you what I mean. Taking all 7 dice and rolling them off. So from this result, we see that they are dominantly on the questioning, curious, inquisitive disposition. A little bit of mysterious and secretiveness, and just a little bit of insight. But there's no aggressivity here, there's no defensiveness, there's no strategic or manipulativeness. So mostly just curious and inquisitive. So those characters, when they come into contact with this NPC, would probably have to engage in a dialogue and answer some questions. The second mechanic we will be using is the Game Master emulator, and mostly the Oracle, which is called the Fate Chart. So the Fate Chart is used when you want to ask yes or no questions and to get an answer, something of an artificial intelligence. Let's give you an example here. Let's say that to start off the game, we are going to be on a chaos rank of 5, so we're going to be looking at this column right here. Now the question we might want to ask is, after these initial guards have met our characters and have asked a ton of questions with their curious, inquisitive nature, are they going to be likely to let them through and give them some tips for how to find the leader Gundark? And I would say it's very likely. So let's go ahead and roll our D100 and see where it lands. 81 falls within our range of up to 85, so the answer there will be yes. So with that way, we'll be able to move forward with Oracle questions as we walk our way through this game. Now, depending on how things go after each encounter with NPCs, I will either move the Chaos rank up or down, depending upon how the previous encounter went. So let's just go ahead and show you the deployment we have and the setup for how we're going to begin this game. So here is the goal that the Mandalorians are trying to get to here. This secret room underneath the ground, nearby the lava. You come down these stairs to get down here. And these stairs are protected by some guards. We have a bounty hunter here standing in the hallway in wait as this meeting is carried out. Up in the rest of the area now, we have just a bunch of different bounty hunters that are hanging around, making deals, talking to each other in these various rooms. And we'll see what happens when our heroes come in contact with them. We can pull back here. You can see there's some more bounty hunters over here on this side. They're out here in the courtyard. And right here we have the guards, the Gamorrean guards, that are going to be meeting our characters as they make their way through initially in the entrance of the headquarters. And here we have our three characters. In the center we have our red Mandalorian gunslinger, and his name is Kalinar. He is our main character. To the left of him we have a Mandalorian captain with the name Santum, and to the right we have a Mandalorian trooper with the name Fendal. With our characters introduced, let's go ahead now and start our game of solo role-playing Star Wars miniatures. To begin, our leader Kalinar is going to cautiously approach the Gamorrean guards as the other Mandalorians find some cover behind those pillars. As Kalinar approaches the guards, they snort out, "Who goes there? Halt, state your purposes." And Kalinar responds, "I'm here to see Gundark." Let's go ahead and roll for the disposition of the guards. So the guards are kind of manipulative and kind of insightful. Not extremely strong in either of those, so they can really go either way. We might be able to help you if you can help us with a few credits. Indeed, we mean no harm. And with this, Kalinar pulls out a few credits and gives it to each of them. Is this adequate for them to be satisfied and to let him pass? Let's roll on the fate chart, and I would say it's very likely. 47, yes. So that is a yes. They are satisfied with the credits. Fine, you can pass. And because they were also slightly insightful, they give the Mandalorians some tips for how to find Gundark if they go to the end of the compound and look for the stairway going down into the ground marked by the fire ruins. So with the guards stepping aside, the Mandalorians begin to make their way into the center of the establishment. And immediately as they enter the courtyard, they are met by a weak-white pirate who stares them down with a suspicious-looking eye. Let's roll for disposition here. Mostly mysterious with a bit of manipulativeness. "We are looking for the stairway to the underground meeting room," Kalinar says to the pirate. "Can you point us in the right direction?" Silence as the pirate's eyes slowly look up and land on the three Mandalorians. She slowly drops her hand down closer to her pistol, still not saying a word. With a gesture of the pistol, she gestures further down the courtyard and opens her mouth to speak. "I don't have time to speak with Mandalorians." Feeling a bit uneasy, our Mandalorians continue to wind their way through the courtyard, where they come into contact with the two additional bounty hunters. Coming further into the courtyard, the Mandalorians are immediately met by the Goltal Mercenary, who's standing in the middle of the path leading through the courtyard. "Oh, look at this. Some Mandalorians joining us way out here. Quite a strange sight, don't you think?" And he turns over to the Quarren assassin. "Oh, yes, indeed. It raises quite a few questions, I would think." The question is, what kind of disposition do these two characters have? The mercenary and the assassin have a strange combination of aggressivity, manipulation, and mystery. The Goltal mercenary takes a step closer to the lead Mandalorian. "What
Maybe this armor would be something that we could have a use of.
The question now is what these two characters are going to do. They are partly aggressive, partly manipulative, and partly mysterious. So obviously they might want to attack these guys and take their armor. The question is, are they going to attack them? And let's go 50-50. It could go either way because they're quite mysterious. 50-50 on the chaos chart. Do they attack? An 86 is a no, so they do not attack. And with that, the Corn Assassin steps in to his friend. It's not entirely worth it. Let's let them pass this time.
Fine. Have it your way,
says the mercenary as he moves back to the corner of the crates. The assassin himself also takes a step back, allowing the Mandalorians to continue their trail through the courtyard. As the Mandalorians pass through the courtyard, they come to the building again, where the door suddenly opens quickly, and there, standing by the fire warming themselves, is Bosk and a Trandoshan mercenary. They're taken aback and startled a bit as these three Mandalorians begin to walk into the building. How do they respond? What is their disposition? So we rolled for the disposition equally aggressive as equally defensive, which is probably not strange in that they were startled as these Mandalorians walked in.
Step back! Who are you?
Screams out Bosk as the Mandalorians run into the room. Instinctively, he grabs his weapon and pulls it out as if to fire. The question now is, will he attack the Mandalorians? Given that they were surprised and given that they have equal amounts of attack and defense, aggressivity, defensiveness, I would say that it is probably likely that they're going to try to take an attack. Chaos factor of 5, so we need anything below a 75 and they will attack. All right, do Bosk and the Trandoshan mercenary attack? Here we go. 30, yes, 30, they are going to attack. The question is now, are the other figurines on the table, when they hear this fight break out, are they going to join in? And I'm going to go back to the fate chart and say, no way. They want to protect their own skin. So we are at a 15 here. 91, so definitely not. They are going to be hiding away and letting this fight play out. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. Mandalorians with the blue die and the Trandoshans with the red. 19-7, the Mandalorians begin. Seeing Bosk go for his weapon, Kalinar is going to immediately charge forward, get himself covered behind this fire, and take a shot off on Bosk. So from here over onto this guy. Because of cunning attack, we're hitting on a 4+. Here we go. 10, yes. 20 points of damage on Bosk, dropping him down to 20. Second activation, let's have this Mandalorian charge into the mercenary there. Cunning attack, also 3+ to hit. 12, yes. And 20 points of damage is enough to just run him over. So that guy is completely destroyed by that Mandalorian charge. Seeing what just happened, Bosk is terrified. So he's going to take off in this direction and head towards this door, opening the door up and screaming to this guy for help. The question is, will this guy jump in and help Bosk out when he is being attacked? And I'm going to say it is unlikely. He has no idea what's going on. He's not going to throw himself into a fight if he doesn't know what's going on. So I'll say unlikely. Let's roll on the fate chart. Here we go, unlikely, and it's an 89, so definitely not. He's actually going to back off in the room a little bit and not help him at all. Final Mandalorian activation. Let's bring him in here, our captain. Bring him over here and take a shot off on Bosk. Twin attack, hitting on an 11. 19, yes, 20 points of damage. Bosk is taken off the battlefield, falls down at the door, leaving the other guy in the room terrified. On second thought, let's just put him right here so we can see where he fell. And with that, the Mandalorian captain is going to walk over to where Bosk fell and drag his body back out of the door. As he's doing that, he's going to turn to this other guy, point his gun at him, and say, "Nothing personal." Pulls the guy back, and as he does, the door goes down and closes, cutting off this area, leaving that guy by himself. As we return to our role-playing now, we're going to have our Mandalorians come around. They saw that there was no way to get through up there, so they're heading in this direction now. Going to take some strategic positions, this guy behind the fire. We're going to have our leader once again come to this door, and immediately the door opens up, revealing that there are 2 additional guys in this back room. And as the door flies open, the Mandalorians see that sitting here making a deal is a Bith Black Sun Vigo and a Devorian bounty hunter. And they are also startled when the door flies open. They've heard the battle that happened out there, so they are already predisposed to be a bit skeptical about these Mandalorians. Let's go ahead and roll for their disposition. Alright, it comes back that they are inquisitive, curious, and also manipulative. Immediately, the Devorian walks over and places himself in front of the door.
All right, guys. We heard that there was some fighting out there. We don't want any trouble. Tell us what you need from us and we'll help you out.
Mandalorians step forward. I'll tell you what we need. We need directions to get down to Gundark's lair. We got some business with him.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how to get there, but, can we get a couple coin for this?
Kellenar waves for Fendal and Santum to join him.
Give the man a few coins.
With the command of Kellenar, Fendal reaches into his pocket and pulls out a few metallic coins that he drops on the floor. Kellenar turns back to the bounty hunter and says,
All right, tell us where to go.
There's a slight pause.
Fine. We got ourselves a deal. Continue on through this building. There's another door. When you get to that door, behind the door, there are 2 Masasi Sith mutants. Holding guard. If I were you, I'd be a little careful. They can be quite a bit aggressive.
And with that, the Mandalorians turn away from the bounty hunter and make their way through the building, coming to the door, the entranceway to the lair, the stairs going down, where they take strategic positions as they open the door. Kellenar steps forward to the door, pauses, and takes a uncharacteristically nervous, deep breath as he reaches his hand up, presses the button. Immediately the door goes up, and there, standing behind the door, are the 2 Masasi Sith mutants. Let's go ahead and roll for their disposition. Okay, a pretty good roll for guards here. We have got primarily aggressive, secondarily defensive. So those 2 are our strongest characteristics when the Mandalorians come in contact with them. As the doors fly open, the mutants lift up their weapons and snarl at the Mandalorian.
Get out of here, you are not welcome!
Kellenar sneers back.
Welcome or not, we're here to see Gundark.
Disobedience! And with that, the Masasi warriors jump down out of the stairwell and begin to attack. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Mandalorians with the blue die, Masasi Sith with the red. Here we go. And it'll be 12 to the Mandalorians. Before we jump into this combat, though, we need to ask a question to our Oracle, and that is namely this. Does this Rodian Huntmaster, hearing and seeing what is going on, is he going to join in the battle? Let's consult our Oracle. I would say it is very likely. Because the last combat was handled so well, our Chaos rank is going to go down to 4. Now the question is the Rodian Huntmaster going to join us? Very likely. Running over here, everything up to a 75 is a yes. Here we go. And it is a 28, so yes, the Rodian Huntmaster will also join in. First activation, let's have our gunslinger. He's going to run back here to this door, get his back against the door thus opens, and he's going to take a shot on them. So now, firing from here onto here with cunning attack, and also the commander effect from the captain, we get twin attack. Hitting on a 2+, 17, second attack, also on a 2+, 5. Yes, so 40 points of damage goes through, dropping him down to 20. Second activation, let's have the captain attack this guy on the left. 7+ on the first attack, and it is an 11. It connects, second attack, 7+, natural 1, no. So 20 points of damage goes through, dropping him down to 40. The best defense is an offense. The Massassi Sith mutants are going to charge in. Starting here on the captain, we have a 7+ to hit. 4, miss. Then over here on the gunslinger, 6+. 14, yes. And that is going to drop Kelenar down to 30 hit points. So a mighty 20 he lost there. Next activation, Fendal here is going to charge into this guy and attack. Strangely enough, he hasn't actually moved, so he would get 1 extra attack when he ran past him. So we actually should get 2 attacks, 1 for the attack of opportunity and then 1 for this attack right now. First, the attack of opportunity, 7+, 17, yes. And then for this second attack, 19, yes. So 10 points of damage for the attack of opportunity, 20 for the attack because the special ability applies, dropping that guy from 60 down to 30 hit points. Final activation, we're going to have the Rodian Huntmaster here join the fight. And actually, because the door is closed at this point, because everyone has left, he's going to have to run up to the door. Let's move him as 12 up instead. And with that, the door now opens up. End of round 1. Let's roll for initiative now. Once again, Mandalorians with the blue die. 13 to 8. We're going to have the mutant start. First off, let's have this mutant attacking Kelenar. Okay, hitting on a 6+ with a mighty swing, so 10 extra points of damage, potentially 30 damage. This could be enough to kill our Mandalorian. Here we go, a 6+. 20, natural 20! Oh my gosh! Oh no! Oh, the axe finds its way home and absolutely decimates our hero. Oh no! Second activation, let's have that mutant attack our captain. Also a mighty swing, so 7+, 30 points of damage. 2, he misses. Fendal, seeing his friend fall at the hands of this mutant Sith, he's going to come back and strike him from behind. Hitting on a 7+. And it's a 5. No, he misses. Oh, he is flustered by seeing his compatriot fall, and he misses. Second Mandalorian activation, the captain from his perch on the box is going to attack that mutant. Twin attack, 7+, here we go. 20, natural 20, 40 points of damage. That's enough to kill that mutant. And finally, the Rodian Huntmaster, as the door opens up when he's standing on the flaming platform, he's going to fire off on the captain. Hitting on an 11+. 12, oh my goodness. With Deadeye, because he hasn't moved, he gets 10 additional points of damage, causing a total of 30, dropping our captain down to a total of 20 hit points. Round 3, here we go. A huge initiative roll. Once again, blue for the Mandalorians. 13 to 12, Mandalorians begin. Let's start by activating this Mandalorian. I'm not sure if I've been following the commander effect, but he has a twin attack on this Sith guy. So he's going to get 2 attacks. And let's go ahead and see if we can pick him off. Cunning attack, so hitting on a 3+. Here we go. And it's a 9, yes. 20 points of damage. Dropping the mutant down to 10. Here we go. Our second attack. If we connect with this, he is out. 8. Yes. Our wounded captain in yellow will activate and attack the Rodian Huntmaster. He's got a twin attack. First attack hitting on an 8+. Here we go. 10. Yes. 20 points of damage. Here we go. This could be it. One more. 8+. 17. Yes, the Rodian Huntmaster is taken out by the sharpshooting of our captain. With the last body falling to the floor, Captain Santum steps down from his box and walks over to Fendal.
We must continue this mission. For the sake of the mission, and for the honor of Kelenar. And with that, Fendal raises his head slowly, nodding in agreement. And with that, the remaining 2 Mandalorians muster up their courage to take themselves down the dark stairwell leading to the hidden room underneath the grounds.
As the Mandalorians enter the dining area, the Dark Jedi immediately rises from the table along with Gundark. Gundark looks over at the Mandalorians and hisses out,
I see. It looks as if you have defeated my guards. Impressive. What may I help you with?
Captain Santum sneers back.
We come here for what was promised to us years ago. The beskar. And we've already lost one of our own in this ridiculous game. I would suggest that you give us the beskar before no one else here loses their lives. So, negotiators, I see.
Gundark hisses back.
We will see what we can do.
Let's go ahead and roll for their disposition. So here's the roll. They are mostly curious, somewhat insightful, and partially defensive and aggressive, as you would imagine. So the question that I want to ask now is, will they give them the beskar without a fight? And it looks like from our last engagement that the chaos rank is going to have to go up again because we lost one of our main characters. And I'm going to say, given the roll for the disposition, I'm going to say it is somewhat likely that they will give them the beskar without a fight. So that is up to 65. Let's go ahead and roll on the fate chart and see what happens. And that will be a 25, so the answer is yes, they will give them the beskar medal.
Most curious. I really wonder what you will be using all of this beskar for. It's far too much to make a new set of armor. Surely there's some other dark intentions, but those may not be for us to know today. Very well. I will give you the beskar that I have promised you. We need not shed any more blood today.
And with that, Gundark makes his way over to the chest behind the table, unlocks it, lifts the lid, and pulls out the bars of beskar that he begins to stack on the table that he leaves over to the Mandalorians. And without saying a single word, Santum and Fendal load up their packs with the beskar and slowly back their way out of the room, their hands nervously resting on the guns all the while. They turn and make their way up the stairs. And with that, they slowly pick their way through Gundark's courtyard, leaving the establishment and walking out of the front gate in which they originally entered. Mission accomplished, but unfortunately they have lost a good friend in the process. But hopefully someday he will be avenged. Well, there you have it, folks, the conclusion of our experimental game in which we have combined Star Wars miniatures with some role-playing elements. Personally, I thought it was pretty fun with the NPC dispositional dice to see what kind of mood the other figurines were in when our characters came across them. And I really enjoyed using the fate chart, the oracle, to ask our yes and no questions to push forward the narrative. We got a couple of really good combats in there, one of them which actually took out our main character, and it also was a pretty exciting final scene there when we came down into the secret room and got the beskar. It wasn't clear if it was going to lead to a fight or not, but our Mandalorians were able to get their beskar and to leave, of course, taking some damage and losing their partner, but living to fight another day. Well, if you appreciate this kind of content and seeing me try out some experimental things, then please do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, spread these videos around, leave a comment below, and I will see to it to continue to try out some different weird and crazy ideas where I do different things with Star Wars miniatures and role-playing. But most of all, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.